This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So Selenium, there are 4 components, right? So the first component, as I told you, this is IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Okay. The second component is RC, that is called Remote Control. Okay. Remote Control, or which is also known as Selenium 1. Okay. So if somebody asks you, Selenium 1, that is nothing but RC. Okay. Now, the third component is WebDriver. That is known as Selenium 2. Into the market, they gave the name. So the first, you can see 2 dot something. Okay, the first version they released into the market 2.38. Okay, the Selenium 2 first version. Then next version was 2.39. Then next version was 2.40. Like this, they were releasing different versions. The final version is 2.3. That is what is Selenium 2, which is nothing but WebDriver. Once they released 2.53, they came up with Selenium 3. Selenium 3 is also nothing but WebDriver. Then you can ask me why it is the name of Selenium 3. Because there are a lot of changes in the architecture wise. Whatever the code you have written in Selenium 2, same code, ideally should work everything in WebDriver 3. Because just imagine you might have developed 6,000 scripts. If suddenly they told we have a new version, your code is not going to support, people will not trust them. They'll say now today you're saying Selenium 3. After 2 years, you will say Selenium 4, 5 and all. What we are going to do? So what they did, they have migrated all the Selenium WebDriver code into Selenium 3. But Selenium 1 code, whatever the code you have mentioned in RC, those things cannot work in WebDriver because these are two completely different things. But what they did, whatever the components, class, methods, whatever was available, what are the operations RC can do, they rewrote the same function in WebDriver. WebDriver supports all these functions. Code may not be the same. Okay, like I in RC, just for an example, think about it. I told you to find the square of a number. For example, in RC, if I told you to find the square of any number, say 3, I am doing 3 plus 3 plus 3, which is nothing but 3 square, right? If I want to identify 4 plus 4 plus, that's what I. Okay, so if same code I use in WebDriver, it is not going to work because WebDriver I implemented 3 into 3, 4 into 4 like. So functions are same, functionalities are same, but implementation is different way. Okay, just an example high level. So all the RC function, whatever was available in RC, everything is available in WebDriver, but implementation using WebDriver code. Okay, not directly RC function and method. Now in WebDriver 3 is also same WebDriver code, but only thing is the architecture wise there are a lot of difference. WebDriver 2 was comparatively slow compared to WebDriver 3. WebDriver 3 they have modified a lot of stuff. No, same code. Selenium 2 you can use the same code in Selenium 3 because both are WebDriver. Okay, so when WebDriver 3 came into the market, first version was 3.0.0, then 3.0.1, then 3.0, 3.1.0, something like this they were releasing. Final version was 3.14 dot something, 146 or something. Okay, so we are working on Selenium 3. Now what is happening? Selenium 3, they are saying it was not following the complete rule of www. Right, www, they are responsible for all the web-based application and all the protocols, everything. So basically they have some standard. So they are saying it's not up to the standard. there are some more changes required. Plus, they need to advance it. Since there is a new change, so they told, okay, we are giving the name as Selenium 4. Selenium 4 is not at all into the market, it's just a beta version. So we are also not going to cover Selenium 4. Course they already released, I am going to cover. Release I cannot cover, but same code. Okay, so even in I ran a couple of scripts using Selenium 4. It's the same thing, I just pointed to Selenium 4. Okay, so Selenium 4, I don't know what is the version, it is not yet released, it's just Selenium 4 beta into the market. Okay, beta version. So once people agree on it, maybe they are going to release the other versions. Okay, and the fourth one is grid. So these are the four components of Selenium: IDE, RC, WebDriver, grid. So now, if I say there is an opening in Selenium, that means opening in WebDriver. You should not have any second thought in your mind. Okay, there is opening in Selenium. Let me ask which version. Then you will be gone. Selenium opening means WebDriver. Don't ask at all. Okay. Now, RC. What used to happen in RC? When we first came up with RC, Selenium guys came up with RC. Okay, first they came up with IDE. So maybe Selenium, IDE came up during say 2003, I think. Okay, so IDE was a plugin for Firefox. Now all the development what Selenium guys are doing, they were in some collaboration with Firefox guys or Mozilla guys. They were releasing the plugin every time Mozilla releases the version. These guys used to release one version for Mozilla plugin, right? If I am giving you some plugin, if I tell you this is the plugin for Chrome, that means you can work only in Chrome. It cannot work in any other browser, right? Huh? So same thing, IDE was the plugin for Firefox, so it used to work only on Firefox. So that's why it was not much acceptable for the people initially. Okay, because it used to support. They really, they came up with the next version called RC. RC is remote control. Now, why it is called remote control? Because architecture-wise, RC is like this. For example, here is your code. You are writing your code here. Okay. When we run our code, what happens? It normally directly executes, right, in your operating system or browser or whatever I am saying, right? For example, I am opening, hdfcbank.com. So it will go and open in your browser. In RC, what used to happen? The architecture-wise, RC was not stable. Your RC, if you run the code, it cannot directly run. So you need something in between. So that we used to call RC server. So since your code is not directly running, it's running via some server. So it's saying that remote control, remotely it's running. So your code used to talk to RC server. RC server used to talk to the operating system or the browser, whatever. Your browser can talk to RC server only, and RC server can talk to your code. So this makes the process very slow. Okay, first I need to talk to RC server. He need to communicate to the browser. Browser can communicate to him. Then he need to come back and communicate to me. Right? So that's the reason it was not very popular. First of all, second of all, there was some architectural issue. This RC server used to get crashed every 2 hours, 3 hours suddenly. Now think about it. You have 6,000 test cases you have developed. So before, see, while running the script, you will not sit, run and watch, right? Then there is no point of doing automation. So what we do, we run it in lights off mode. Lights off mode means where there is no manual intervention required. So what normally people do before leaving from the office, or in the office, maybe some other machine, then the end of the day they check, right? Now your 6,000 scripts takes say 5 hours to run. So in between 2 hours, if server get crashed, your code will not run, right? So there are a lot of issues. That's the reason RC was not acceptable that much what they were expecting. Though in RC you can run in different browser. You can run the RC code in Firefox, Chrome, Safari, IE, all these browsers. But because of those issues, people are not accepting much. They figured it out. They figured it out that the design, in case the design phase was something is wrong in RC. That is the reason it was not much popular. So they realized it. Now what happened? Now Google guys, now they are in collaboration with Selenium guys, whoever started. Now Google is doing all the development. So in 2010, Google picked up this task and they started developing WebDriver. Now this they name as WebDriver or Selenium 2. Okay. So in 2010, what they did, whatever the things were supported in RC, everything they migrated to WebDriver. Otherwise, people will not agree, right? In RC, there are a lot of functionality. They can click, you can type something, you can perform mouse over operation, drag, drop, lot of things. So Google started developing all these things in WebDriver. In WebDriver also, architectural wise same. I'll explain in details later. Only thing is you don't need any server in between. Your code can directly talk to the operating system or browser. Browser can directly talk to your code. Okay. Now, RC, everything they have migrated in WebDriver. Plus, there are a lot more function methods and all. So in RC, there might be around 2 to 3,000 in total. Or in WebDriver, now there are total 7-8,000 function method class and all. So they supported everything in RC plus lot more thing you can do in WebDriver. From 2010 onwards, they slowly started modifying, so you can see different versions and all. So from that time itself, now it's almost 10 years, everyone is using WebDriver only. Okay, so it's completely WebDriver into the market, nothing else. So in WebDriver, the first component was Selenium. First they came up with Selenium 2. Now there are some disadvantages of architecture wise. It's nothing but speed, protocol. Internally, right? When you communicate to any server, if you try to access Google or any website, we are connecting via different protocols like SMTP server, POP3 server. We are sending requests in different format, right? Web services request and all. So internally they did some changes there. Okay. Now, so because of those changes, the architecture wise little bit different. After this version, they told, since we have done some changes, let's not continue it 2.54. Let's give it a new name 3.0.0. Okay, I'll show you some basic changes, whatever the changes they did later. Okay, so this is the Selenium 3. And now RC is completely gone into the market. They are not developing anything on RC after 2010. So that time they told, whatever we have developed already in RC, guys, if you guys want to use, you can use it. We don't have any issues. But we are not going to support anymore. Means in case there is any bug and all, we are not going to fix it. In case there are some new control which you are not able to do with RC, we are not going to release any new function, new method. Whatever is there is available. We are not going to do anything. So they are saying RC in that it's in kind of, you can say, coma. It's there. If you want to use it at your own risk. But whatever we are supporting till now, everything is there. We are not going to remove it. So people used it up to 2011 also. Even 2012 mid also people used, but they realized no, instead of using RC, WebDriver is the best option. Because a lot more changes, a lot of things people are doing. Now it's completely dead, completely gone. You don't need to know RC at all. Okay. So in WebDriver, they started supporting now in 2.53. After 2.53, once they releases a new version, they gave the name as Selenium 3. Now Selenium 3, they started 3.0.0, 3.0.1, 3.1.0. Okay, like this, and latest version is 3.4.146 or something. Okay, so every month they were releasing a new version. But see, IDE they used to support now also. So though they stopped RC, they are releasing the plugin for IDE for every version. So now see, Firefox is also releasing their different version, correct? Maybe Firefox first Firefox version was, just think about it, 30 Firefox version they released the first IDE. If Firefox upgraded their version 31, they have to upgrade the IDE also, right? Because older version of IDE may not be compatible with the new version of Firefox, may or may not. They have to check, they have to spend some effort, they have to make sure that all the things are working. So every month, Firefox was releasing their new version. So IDE guys also used to release new version of Firefox, need to support that. Now when Google was doing all this development, Firefox was still releasing. But in between Selenium 3, they realized, they are simply we are supporting it is in with any class anymore. Simply we are spending some effort. So what they told, okay, when the Firefox version 54 was there into the market, they told this is the last version where we are supporting IDE. We are not going to release any more plugin. So up to 54, I used to talk IDE, and after that I stopped because IDE is not supported in Firefox. Cannot use it. Now, on the other side, Google guys were developing WebDriver versions. Now they realized the importance of IDE tool. IDE is the only tool in Selenium through which you can do some recording and playback. Other, you can write the code. They told, okay, they might have some plan in future, also in IDE, I believe. So they told, okay, Firefox is not supporting. Then they told Firefox, okay, guys, we are going to release the plugin for you. Is there any issue? Then Firefox guy says, no, why there is an issue? If you are releasing some plugin for our browser, you can do it. We are not putting any effort, right? All the effort, everything you are only putting. We will be releasing the version we are not going to support. You check our version, you release your, product, and you see whether it's compatible with our browser or not. We don't have any problem. Okay, then they were okay. So once the Firefox was there in 64, that time these Google guys, they started releasing IDE again into the market as a Firefox plugin. But they told this time we are not only releasing as IDE as a Firefox plugin, but we are releasing two plugins. One is for Mozilla Firefox and one is for their native browser, which is Chrome. So got it. IDE when they came up into the market, first it was only for Firefox, but now it is for Firefox as well as Chrome. Okay, but now this development was done by Google. So this is the story of IDE RC WebDriver. Now IDE also not used at all. Then why we need to spend at least some time on RC? The reason is that RC is the only tool through which you can record. So when you will be in the very beginning stage in WebDriver, for example, you wrote the code, your code may not work at some point. Okay, definitely you can ask me, you will bring your laptop also, you can show me, or you can send me a mail, you can ping me in WhatsApp. Okay, but before that, what you can do, you can quickly go to IDE and you can quickly record that particular part and you can see what IDE is recording. That will help you to learn WebDriver also. Okay, that's the reason you need IDE. Okay, plus they released a new version, and earlier IDE was used to support a lot of stuff. Now IDE is not supporting a lot of things. Okay, I mean very less things, but they are planning to support everything plus lot more things they are planning to do. Okay, so there might be some plan in future, because see, instead of writing the code, if I give you some tool where you can just record, so people will accept that only, right? All the companies. The writing code is always have the flexibility. You can write anything. You can write, but while recording, there should be some limitation. But still, while companies are going to agree on that, because it will be easy for their employee to train. If you want to read it, if you want to write it, so you need to go for a training. Like you guys are here, right? You need to learn Java. You need to write the code. You need to go for a training and all. But for recording and all, you don't need much training, and you will be productive in very within a couple of days itself. You just need to know how to record and all, how to do all this stuff, and you can start recording your test cases. But if I ask you to write, you need some time to write. You need to be comfortable with writing some code, if else thing also itself. So that's the reason there will be some plan in future. That is one more reason ki I want to talk about IDE. Okay, because in future, after down the line 2-3 years, if IDE came up into the market and everyone people are using IDE, you should not be thinking how to start that. Okay, so that's the story of IDE. And the fourth component is grid. So I don't know why they are calling grid as a fourth component, because grid is not independent. See, all these things are independent. You can learn only IDE, you can learn only RC, you can learn only WebDriver. It is not related to each other. But grid, if you say I want to learn only grid, no, that is not possible. Grid is basically I have all my script. I want to run all my scripts, distribute my scripts in different operating system. For example, in my office, in the same LAN or same network, there are 5 machines. One is Windows 7, one is Mac machine, one is say Windows 10. I want to run it in different operating system, different browser. I just need to make sure my software is running in all the operating system, all the different browser, the combination of operating system and browser. With the help of grid, I can distribute my scripts in different machines. I'll show you here also. Okay, I will trigger the script from my machine. It will run in different systems. Okay, so that's the use of grid. But the code, whatever you will have, that will be either in RC or in WebDriver, right? So that's why I'm saying without knowing RC and WebDriver, you can't simply start grid. Okay, so earlier when grid used to work with RC, we used to call it as grid 1. Now when grid supporting WebDriver, we are calling it grid 2. Okay, so first is IDE. Now Selenium 1 is nothing but RC. Then Selenium 2 and 3 is WebDriver. Selenium 4 is yet to come. It's not yet available. Let me for last 2 months it is in beta state.
Abhishek, I have a doubt over here.
Yeah.
So you had specified about IDE, right? See, generally IDE is a place or it is a plugin where I can write my codes, if I'm not wrong. So Eclipse is one of the IDE, correct?
No. Eclipse is different thing. Eclipse is a tool through which you can write your script. We need
Okay,
somewhere to write my script, right? If I tell you, you write a program on Python, C++ or .NET, you will tell me, okay, fine, I'll write, but where I should write? I need some tool to write.
correct.
So Eclipse is that a tool where you can write your JavaScript or you can write Python script also.
So this IDE is a different tool, is it?
Yes, this IDE is a different tool.
So I have to again install it separately and then work only for
I
Selenium.
will
Am I
show
right?
you. It's nothing, but it's less than 30 seconds down.
No. Yeah, that's there. But my query is yes, it's like one more installation of how I have to do it. Correct?
Yes, it's one more installation. Correct. You are correct.
Okay. Okay. Now, so the scripts whichever I write for the Selenium is written in this particular IDE, or
The script we are going to write initially, that will be on this particular IDE, that is the Firefox version or
okay,
Chrome. This
okay,
tool we will be writing. Okay, we'll see how to record. Basically, we will not be writing, we will be recording. That is a recording tool. It will automatically record the things.
okay.
Okay, I'll show you how it is recording and all. How you play back after recording. That is important, right?
Yeah.
Because you need to play back it again and again. That's why you are doing automation. If you need to execute of doing automation, right? You multiple times, maybe every week, 10,000 scripts. You need a lot of
Okay.
resources. Instead of that, I need some tool, automation tool, which can run all those.
Understood. Yeah, understood. So now, the reason for these questions is for me, it's still not clear. As in, see, I have now a Selenium IDE where I write my scripts. Now I'll call the frameworks in these scripts, right? So how do these frameworks get connected to this IDE? So we have some frameworks of Selenium, correct?
Yes, we have some frameworks. We'll be doing the frameworks and all, but we will not be doing in IDE because IDE is not supported all these things now. It is a very basic
Okay.
skill. Okay,
Okay.
everything we'll be doing in WebDriver because you will be working on WebDriver only mainly, not on IDE. Okay, IDE we need to know, as I told you, it might initially help you to learn WebDriver. Plus, in case in future they have some plan to expand it more, okay, you can easily work on it. That time you don't need to go for again training to for IT and all. You yourself can
Sorry,
figure it
I didn't understand you. Can you please repeat the previous sentence? Sorry.
out. What I'm saying, ID you can do very limited stuff now. It's not supported too many things right now. But why we need to learn ID, that will be your question. If it is not at all used in the industry, then why we are spending time? The reason is that we're spending time because the Selenium guys, they have some plan in future to release more ID, releasing more feature in ID. So in case they release in future, they're releasing more versions, more things, you should not be stuck. You don't need any training. You yourself can easily work on it. You yourself can learn.
Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, in future. So these are the four components. Okay, so grid is nothing but the grid. When we used to grid with RC, it used to call grid 1. When grid is using WebDriver, we used to call grid 2. Now see, latest WebDriver version is 1.59. Okay, what I mentioned, 1.4. So it will be 141.59. That is the last version of Selenium 3. You can see it was released on 2018 November 14. Earlier, every month they used to release new version, but after November they are not releasing because in December 25th they are planning to release Selenium 4. But there are some issues and all. I don't know, till it's 6 months they were not able to release it. Okay, so if you go up and here, if I click on previous releases, you can see all the previous releases. Can you see 2.39, 2.40 up to 2.53 I told. After that they released the beta version 3.0, 3.0, beta 2, beta 3, beta 4. Then see all the version whatever I told, right? Latest version is 3.141. Then see 4.0 alpha 1. Okay, 4.0 they have mentioned. Okay, but it's in the beta version still. So there will not be any difference in case they released. I believe as soon as we proceed, they might release the new one also within that time. Say it is alpha 1. So if they release, I will be covering. Okay, if I don't cover also, there will be no difference in. All the difference will be in architecture wise. That's what they are saying. If you go and read some document, WebDriver 4, what will be the new changes? You see some YouTube videos, everyone will say the same thing. Have you guys heard about something called JSON and all? Okay, so the way we are sending the web service request and all, there are different ways. They can send using put method, post method and all. So they are sending in XML format. They are sending different format. They can send the request to the server. You are filling up a form here in the UI. When you click on the submit, do you think it's going as a form in the server? No, it's going in the XML format. Okay, when you send some request, it's going as a XML format. Nowadays, so that was WebDriver. Nowadays, what happened to make it more faster, more secure? They are sending in some other format that is called JSON format. Okay, they are sending in JSON format to the server. All the details, your user ID, password, whatever you are filling up here. Now, internally also they are trying to implement this. That is the change. But for your point of view, you will not see any difference in the UI. Okay, so this is what is Selenium 4 will be. So the first component is ID. So let's see some basic ID. Okay, what is ID and how to use it? Okay, clear till now what are the different components? Now, first let's try with Firefox. So what I can do, I can open the Firefox. Since I am going to install it in Firefox, you have to do it in Firefox. Okay, sometimes people try to do it in Chrome and they say it's not working. It will not work, right? If you open in Chrome and if you are installing the plugin for Firefox, If you're installing the plugin for Firefox, you have to do it in Firefox. Like I have installed a lot of plugins for Chrome. Can you see these are the different plugins, YouTube blocker, my notepad and all these things. So I have to open Chrome and install it, right? So this is my, some notepad. So if I need to make some note, I can just, make a note here and all. Correct. So you go to Firefox, you open Firefox and open google.com. Here you type download IDE for Selenium. If I hit enter, so it will show you different. See here, go here, seleniumhq.org. That is the official website of Selenium, right? Whatever we just now open, seleniumhq.org. Okay, so you open it in Firefox. Once you open it, seleniumhq.org, you go to this tab, downloadable tab, download tab. Correct? In this download tab, if you scroll down, can you see there are different options? I'll talk about all these things. I mean, you will have a lot of options to download. First is Selenium standalone server, then driver. Here to download different APIs. Since we are using Java, we will be downloading the Java things, right? If someone is using Selenium with C#, they will be using these things. If someone is in Ruby, they will be download from here. So they are giving all the links. Okay. Here, can you see one option called Selenium IDE? Okay. They have deprecated the Safari. Now there is some problem with the latest version of Selenium. I think they don't support Safari. Okay, anyway, those are not an issue. So you can see one section called Selenium IDE. Here, see, Selenium IDE is a Chrome and Firefox plugin. Earlier, if you see my video, I'll show you that video also, and I'll try to this one also. Earlier videos I mentioned that Selenium IDE supports only Firefox, and I told you the story. Now it's supporting both Chrome and Firefox. Okay, so download the latest version for Chrome or for Firefox. They have mentioned. So I have opened it in Firefox, right? So let me download for Firefox. So I'll be clicking here for Firefox. What it will take me to the Firefox official website, and there it will give me link for Firefox. Just notice here. Can you see add to Firefox button? Huh? It is now removed because I have already installed it. So let me refresh it, note down. See, add to Firefox. It will be like this for you. Okay. For me, it's removed because I have already installed. So once the page loads, it's showing removed. It's automatically identified. So what you need to do, you just need to click on add to Firefox button. That's it. You just need to click on add to Firefox button here. Once you click on it, what will happen? Here you can see one small pop-up and progress bar where it will install ID. It will take less than 1 minute. Okay, it will small pop-up will be there. Here one install button will be there. You just click on install. Within a 30 seconds to 40 seconds, it will install IDE in Firefox. Okay, so that's it. Your IDE installation is done for Firefox. Now, once you have installed, it will change into a remove icon. And how to figure it out? IDE got installed or not? In the top right corner, can you see this icon? Selenium IDE. That means your IDE is installed on my Firefox. Sometimes people come back and say, Abhishek, I have installed IDE, but I am not able to see it. So in that case, I tell them you restart the Firefox. So if I say restart, don't close it directly. It may not be restart. If you want to restart, go to File, Exit. Means it will completely, close everything from, all the session, everything of the Firefox. Then if you open the Firefox, and you can see this. You click here. Can you see this is opening this tool? click create a whatever, okay, it will create a new project. It will ask you keep the project name, like I am giving test project some name. Okay, this is my project. So these are the different options in IDE. I'll talk about it. So let me close it and let me install it in the Chrome, because it's the same thing whatever you are going to do in Firefox, same. So I'll show you in any one browser. Chrome, if you want to install, again go to the same web page in the Chrome. Now here if you scroll down, okay, here you can see download the latest version for Chrome. Now I have to click here. Earlier I clicked here, right? If I click here also, you will see it will take you to the Play Store. Can you see remove from Chrome is showing, because I have already installed. Once you launch it first time, it might not show. It will showing immediately, it's going. It will show install in Chrome. So you just need to click install in Chrome. Same thing. Same thing. It will be installed in Chrome. It will take hardly less than a minute. Once installation is done, you can see it. Okay. If you click on it, this is going to open. If you don't see, same way you can, exit the Chrome. You can directly close, because it is going to close the session. That is the implementation, the way they have implemented the browser. Firefox, if you close, sometimes though it will close the Firefox, but session might be running in the background. Okay, so it might not reflect the new plugins and all. You might need to file exit and then you need to restart. But Chrome, nobody told me they are facing this kind of issues in the Chrome. Okay, so that's it. If I click here, then the same tool, whatever. Create a new project. If I click, you have to give some project name, test 1 2 3, some project. Okay, it is showing this tool. This is the IDE tool. Here, this is my test cases. Here it will be one by one test case. If I want to create test, here if I click on, see here it's showing the project name, right? Whatever I get. If I want to change, I can just click on and edit it. Say SDFC project. So you can create one more project. Sorry, you can save it and you can close it and open it. You can create a new project. Once you open, that will be one project. The reason is under one project, this will be different test cases. So all the test cases will be under this project associated with this. Okay, like here by default, if you create, it's showing United, right? So if I click here, rename, you can rename it. Maybe I am giving test case 1. I want to create a new one, add a new test case. Here is the new button, test case 2. So it all will be related to this project. If you want to create a new project, you close it, open it again fresh. Huh, definitely. Otherwise, what's the point of automating, right? If you automate it, and if you every time you need to automate, then you're spending the same time. These all the things are called test suite. Test suite means all the test cases together are called test case 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Okay, these all are test suite. Here you can see one run button. If you click on the run, it is going to run all the test cases. Test case 1, test case 2. Everything is here. You need to save it. Okay, once you save it, the project test case particular folder. You have to create some folder, right? Otherwise, if you save it in desktop or somewhere, how can you figure it out next time? The way you are saving manual test cases, right? You are putting into some folder module wise or some. Same thing here also. So if you click on this run button, see run all test means it is going to run all the tests. Test case 1, test case 2, test case 3. If there are 10 test cases, it is going to run. Next, there is one more run button. It will run only the currently selected test cases. Like my test case 2 is selected right now, it will run it. If I want to run test case 1, select it and click on run button. Here there is a timer, execution speed. You can make sure how fast or how slow you can run your script. Okay, so you don't run in too fast sometimes because URL takes time to load and all. In that case, your script might fail. Okay, so put it in a little bit slow mode you want to run. Slow means if I put it here, so maybe it will click on some button and it will wait for say 1 second, then it will click on the next button. If you put it here, maybe after clicking every button it will wait 4 to 5 seconds. So you don't need to wait too much of time also. Okay, so we can adjust our runtime, how fast I need to run, how slow I need to run. This is called breakpoint. Breakpoint means you want to stop your execution at some point. If you select it, it will stop at that point. Next is pause. When you are recording, if you want to pause in between, it will pause. This is the important button, record. Okay, it will start recording here. I'll show you everything. Then you will see when I will save and all. Okay. Now, once I record and something, here you can see the script. You can see the command, you can see the value. Once you select any particular line, the corresponding value you can see here. Okay. See, if I click here, can you see there are a lot of functions? These all are inbuilt function for IDE. That means you can figure it out the disadvantages. You can't use any function outside this, right? Because it's a drop down, you can't add. But in older IDE version, there is an option that if I want, I can add some function also from my end. But now they are not yet into that, position. They have not yet reached because they are just released this IDE version. They are going to implement it more. Okay. For example, I want to open some browser. OP. If I type C, open. Can you see here? It is showing. Target field means what URL I need to open. That's it. Right? So if I click on the run button, it should ideally open this URL. If I type some URL. Okay. After that, maybe I need to click on something. I click. Where this field I need to click. So can you see here? You can see your steps, test cases steps. And if I select the particular steps, I can see it here so that I can modify if required. Now I am selecting this, you can see it here. Okay. Now think about it. I just letting it. Just press delete. I want to open google.com. Here, can you see playback base URL? So here you have to enter the base URL. My base URL is https google.co.in. Now what I need to do, I need to open this URL. Open. Okay. There is a log. Once I run my script, you can see in the log what is happening, pass, fail, and all. Okay. Okay. There is one more tab called reference. For example, I used open. I don't know what I need to write. If I click on the reference tab and select open, it's showing you have to write the URL here. Next. URL means the argument URL. You have to write the URL. So means in the next field, I have to write the URL. Which URL I need to open? I need to open this one, right? Here it is mandatory. You have to give the base URL. So you don't need to write it here. You just need to write it slash. Slash means open the root URL, whatever you have mentioned. Let me run. This is the run button. Can you see it's opening? Google.com. Got it? See, I'm clicking here. Opening google.com. And in the log, if I go, can you see? Okay, test case 1 completed successfully. I want to open Google News. You might be thinking, news. And let me run it. See, it's still opening Google, not Google News. Correct? Why? The reason is, here you can type only base URL. I don't. News is not a part of base URL, right? If I say go to your Facebook homepage, what you will type www.facebook.com/home, but your base URL is facebook.com, not /home. Then how can I open Google News? Here, remaining part you need to type here. You need to say, okay, first slash means open the base, along with that you add news. Now if I run, okay, you can clear the log also, otherwise old log will be there, you will be get confused. This is the button, clear log. If I run this, it will open Google News. Can you see? If I go back here, it's saying test case 1 completed successfully. Okay, and the thing. Got it? Click means you want to click somewhere. Okay, I'll show you now. I'll delete this test case. Now, I did it manually, right? You don't have to do it manually. You can just record it. So what I can do, I selected this. I'm clicking on the record button. As soon as I click on the record button, why it's opening Google? Okay, because it's there already. Otherwise, it will ask me. It will give you a pop-up. It will ask you enter the base URL. Okay. Here I am typing Selenium. So what I did, I typed. Now next is what I need to click. Right? Can you see? Selenium ID is recording, showing. Click Google search. So it's searching. I'll go back here and stop the recording. See what it does. Open. Okay. I don't know why it is typing here. It should type like this. Anyway, maybe I typed earlier. If I open it freshly, it will do like this. Then set window size means I am maximizing the window or whatever the window size it is taking. You don't need. If you don't need, you can just see type. After that, I was typing. Now see, if I go to the reference tab, what I need to do? Type locator value. Locator means where I need to type and what value I need to type. So this is the locator. Now don't ask me what is this locator, how they are going to identify, because I need to talk about thoroughly about all these things. If you understand how Selenium identifies any object, what is the locator and all, you know, no one can stop you to automate any website. As of now, whatever I have to explain you what is XPath, what is CSS selector and all these things. Okay. So this field, I need to type Selenium. If you want, you can change it also. Selenium training. Now click. I want to click where I need to pass the locator, right? Where I need to click. There are two buttons, right? You saw. You can say I need to click one. She will say no, I need to click. Another person will say I need to click here. Another person will say. So you have to tell him where you want to click. So this is the locator of that button. Okay. So if I run my script, so it's opening Google, typing Selenium training. Can you see? And it's clicked. Okay. So you can directly record it also. So what you can do? Can you install IDE in Firefox and Chrome both? Record some script, any basic script, any URL. Okay.
Abhishek, I have
Save
a
the
doubt
script.
here.
Yeah.
See, the project which you created now, right, by recording. So that is when it got all the variables as open, type, click, and then
Not the
its
variable.
target
These are
values.
all the inbuilt function. It automatically
Okay.
identifies what action you are performing on the web.
Okay, the functions and its target value. For example, if you see the target value CSS is equal to center.nh. So this is nothing but since I have recorded it, it got its own target value. If I
Yes.
want to write a fresh test case where, see, recording is inbuilt so it can get the target values. But without recording, if I want to write the same test case manually to understand which calls
Yeah.
when, so how do I come to know that?
That's what I told you. I am not going to talk about it right now. Okay. I have to explain you. I am not going to discuss these things right now. Because I have to explain you what is DOM structure, what is CSS selector, what is XPath, what is attribute, what is tag. Things I have to explain in web. You will not be
Hello?
using IDE at all. You will be very much comfortable. It will be like ABCD for you. You can write
The IDE part, is it?
this part. target part, whatever you are seeing, CSS, XPath, you can see different options, right? To identify it. So I told you, you don't worry about this part right now because I am going to take a details class on it.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
show
fine
you
then.
single object, how to identify, how to write this part in 20-30 different ways for a single object. All the
Okay.
options I'm going to talk about it. Then it will be like
Okay.
a ABCD for you, very basic.
Okay. As of now, it's a basic demo of how a test case can be
I'm
recorded.
showing
That's it,
you
right?
know how IDE is identifying the element, how you can use IDE.
Okay, fine, no problem. Yeah, thank you.
All these things will be covered in details completely.
Yeah, sure.
So you can write it your own. You don't need to depend on this guy. Because in WebDriver, we will not be recording, right? We have to write it by our own. So you should know, and that is most important part. How to
Yeah.
identify it. Sorry? Yeah, ID is separate, WebDriver is separate, but the way they are identifying the object, it will be the same. WebDriver in industry people are using. No one is using IDE now. But IDE, they might have a lot of plan in future. That's why they have re-released the version, right? That's why I told you guys need to know. You will definitely get to know when you will start WebDriver. It will be nothing for you. First you might be thinking target value and all. So I'll show you tomorrow also couple of script basic IDE and all. So you will get an idea. No. Only here. WebDriver, all these things are available. Open, type, click. We just need to type open. We need to pass. That I'll show you all these things. Okay. I'll not show you initially how to copy and all. First, I'll show you how to do it manually so that you will learn. Then later when you will copy, you will get to know why it is copying like this and all. So I'll not show you automatically how it will do initially. Okay. First, I'll show you how to do it manually. Then you can, once you copy using some tools and all, you can figure it out how this tool is identified. Record and playback. There is not much, but couple of things people ask, couple of questions might be. So I'll show you also next step. So what you do, you just install IDE for
Abhishek,
Firefox and Chrome.
just sorry to stop you.
Yeah.
I don't know about others online. I am not able to understand the questions from the classroom. So can it be even more clear so even I can understand what the
Okay,
questions are?
no. She is asking whether WebDriver we can record on or not, or
Oh,
how to copy this XPath and write. That's what whatever you asked me, I told her also. Okay, I'm going to explain all these things, how to do it manually and all first. Then
okay,
we will
fine.
be
Yeah.
using,
Okay.
there are some inbuilt tools are available, which will automatically generate XPath. But before to tell you how to do it automatically, I want you guys to learn how to, write it manually. Then you will understand if someone is giving you some automatic things, how they are generating, right?
Okay.
So what you guys can do, you guys can download and install IDE for Chrome, Firefox both today and try some basic recording. Okay, then you save the project somewhere and try to open the same project, close IDE, open the IDE, open the same project, try to play back and see. And tomorrow I'll show you a couple of more things in IDE, and then we'll not be continuing on IDE anymore because IDE is not required much. Okay, and there are very limited. Okay, so can you guys do it before tomorrow's class? In case of
Sure.
any issue, let me know tomorrow. Okay.